Hello everyone, Kaiser here, and today I'm back with a remake of my custom Link figure, and as you can see, I have him posted up with Midna because I just thought it would be funny. But yeah, this is a remake of a very old figure that I've had for a while. It was one of the first few customs that I did a video on, and as you'll see, I'll explain why I've decided to redo him and make him a bit better. So with that, let's get into it. So when it comes to this figure, the main thing I wanted to do with it is give it more articulation, and I decided that I would use sort of like different Marvel Legends parts for that, so it can get into a lot more poses. Because originally I had used what I believe was a Lord of the Rings figure, and the main problem with that figure was that the torso couldn't really move as much. It only had a waist swivel. So when it comes to this new torso, I believe it's from a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. So it does have an ab crunch, so he can move in just a little bit, but I think it's enough. Really happy that that's there. And as you can see, when it comes to this design for Link, it's based off the Hyrule Warriors version of Link, which is probably my favorite design for Link. I don't know, just like it's the original design with a few new elements. I think it looks cool. So I did my best to replicate that design, starting with the head. Actually, as you can see, it's the same head, don't get me wrong, but I did a lot of shading. I did like a lot of sanding down in order to make it a bit smoother and not as rugged, so it has more of kind of like that smooth anime style look. And that also goes for the eyes. I wanted to make the eyes a bit more accurate, and I think I pulled it off pretty well. I also wanted to give him, like, you know, that kind of serious expression, so that's what I went for. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the lips, if you know what I'm talking about, but I still think this looks pretty well. I also redid the hair and the hat. The hair is made out of a few strands of thread, so I could kind of get that split, that, you know, that hair design. And for the hat, if I can take it off, yes I can. The hat is a separate piece, so I'll put that to the side. And as you can see, it's completely made out of clay with a bit of like gold thread around it, since I thought that would look nice. I do wish that it was posable, but I thought that this would work pretty well. And as you can see, it fits on pretty well to the head without looking too off. The scarf. This is just made out of a piece of blue cloth, and as you can see, I added a little design to the end of it, and it is posable. All I really did was just run a wire throughout the length of it, so you can get the scarf waving in the wind for some cool poses. I also made the shoulder pad. That was pretty simple. I'll get to the weapons in a sec. Let me just get the shield out of his hand. There we go. But yeah, everything is pretty much the same for the most part. Like the legs, those are the same. I did add a bit more detail to like the skirt piece. I add like bits of silver and gold chains just to make it a bit more, you know, detailed. And the boots are the same. So yeah, I didn't do much. The only real difference is the torso, like I said. I did make the legs a bit tight. Sorry. I did make the legs a bit tighter, so they aren't as floppy. I did also make some improvements to the sleeves. If you see the green part here, that's actually made out of a balloon. And the forearms are pretty much the same. I did put a bit of sculpting over the gauntlets, painted, and I also added a bit of articulation to the hands, since on the original the only real articulation there was a swivel, I believe, at like the forearm here, and the hands could open and close. But what I did was I added a hinge joint there so it can swivel there, and it can bend inward. So yeah, I'm really happy I was able to pull that off. And speaking of articulation, the head is pretty much the same. It can go to the side and up and down. It is a bit hindered by the hat, but I'm fine with that. The arms can move out, well, this arm can move out about that far with the shoulder pad. And he does have a bicep swivel. He has a double jointed elbow. It does get a bit hindered by the chainmail around the sleeve. And like I said, he has a swivel hinge and the hands can open and close. He does have a previously mentioned ab crunch. He does have a waist swivel. His legs can go out about that far. They can go back a bit. They can go out to the side. Like I said, they're a lot more tight. He does have a thigh swivel, double jointed knees. He does have a boot swivel, and it can go up and down, and it does have a toe hinge. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot more articulation, so he can get into a lot more dynamic poses, as I'll show on the screen, since I did take some pictures. And with that being said, let me talk about his accessories. So when it comes to the accessories, I decided to start off a bit simple by just giving him the Hylian shield and the Master Sword. This is the same one that I made before. I thought since, if it ain't broke, they'll fix it. I probably will improve on it a bit, make it a bit cleaner and not as dingy, I guess I should say. But I'm really happy with how the shield came out. This is actually one of the original shields that I made, and what I did was pretty much put a bunch of clay all over it. So the silver outline, the triforce, pretty much everything is sculpted, as you can see. And I really like how it came out, especially with how small some of these details are. And with that, all I really did was painted the accurate colors. I like how I added a metallic blue inside just to make it a bit more, a bit more shiny. But yeah, as you can see, he can hold onto these accessories pretty well, if I can get them in. There we go. So yeah, he holds on to his accessories pretty well, and I think he looks pretty good with them. And as you can see, I still kept the sheath in the back, so if you want, you can sheath the sword in there. And I guess you can count like the hat and the scarf as accessories, but I don't know. I probably will make a few more accessories in the future, because Link has so many different items and stuff. But for a simple Link with a sword and shield, I think this looks pretty well. And as you can see, next to all my other like Smash Brothers characters, he fits in pretty well. I did make him a bit shorter, so next to someone like Samus, they are around the same height, but I'm not too mad about it. But yeah, I think he fits in a lot better, and I definitely like how this version came out compared to my original version. I was thinking that I would try to make a Hyrule Warriors Link out of the Figma Links, like the Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword versions. I think that will work pretty cool, work pretty well. But I'm still happy with how this guy came out, and I hope you guys enjoy him as well. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm definitely going to have another video out by next week, so hope you guys enjoy that when it comes out. So with that being said, see you guys later.